Hello and you're welcome to this Microsoft Access Database tutorial brought to you by DataText. My name is Akosmaila. So in today's video is going to be a response to a pressing comment that I received under my tutorial how to create employee salary or payroll management database. I have in my playlist. If you have not watched it, you can check it down and watch. There's a comment there that we are actually going to address in this particular video, and the comment is coming from Mohammed Arrears. The comment reads, so how can we show opening and closing balance on every receipt of employee in Microsoft Access? How can we show opening and closing balance on every receipt of employee in Microsoft Access? So this comment has been received 10 days ago. Mohammed Arrears, sorry, I'm now replying to this particular comment. This isn't the only comment. After this video, the other videos will be made to cater for the other ones. So it is very possible I'm going to offer a solution in this video that I believe will help Mohammed Arrears, and as such it will help all the members in this particular community, because this is going to be a way of improving on the previous tutorial. Okay, so guys, without not wasting much time, let us delve into the video. Okay, so now we get started, but before then I will have to prompt you all that before we can actually achieve this particular feature, there will have to be some little alterations to the forms, tables and the queries. And then also the opening and the closing balance, we are going to call it in this particular tutorial or this particular system arrears. You know, arrears are amounts that an employee owes a staff member at the start of the month's payment. So now we are going to call it arrears instead. So it means that now the first thing that we will have to do is that we go to the payroll table that we have here. So let's go to the design view. Okay, so right in the design view, I will copy, let's say, the basic salary. So let me copy the basic salary. We are going to add a field, but then I'm just coming to copy so that all the properties will apply to it. Okay, so now this I'll call the new field arrears. Okay, so let us add some description here. This is the amount owed staff in the previous month. Okay, so here we have the description of arrears here. Okay, so now we will have to modify the expression for the gross. Okay, so we go to the design view. Now here we have the gross salary, and you can see this expression for the gross salary. So you can right click here and then you zoom. Okay, you can also choose to use a build. So here we say plus, so plus you add arrears. So arrears. Now you make sure the name of the field is neatly spelled, because if in the zoom builder you wouldn't actually get suggestion. It will not be suggested for you, so you have to ensure that you type it correctly out here. So now that we are done, we hit OK, and now we move on. You must save the table first, so we save it. Okay, so now we have arrears also over here. So now we've been able to add this arrears field also up here neatly. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is to modify this particular form that we have here. And you know, this form comprises of a payroll data sheet and then also the payroll itself. So guys, let us go in here now, design view. So let us modify the data sheet. So I'll copy, then I'll paste. So this time I'll say salary payments. Okay, so we are modifying the data sheet first, so salary payments, and now we are going to stick to the columnar form. So I'll tap here. Okay, so now we will just modify this form to look a bit presentable. I know we are not really going to work much on the form design, so let me select everything, then let's select widest, although we can actually choose to also reduce the size again. Okay, so now can set it to this and it's okay. So let's bring it up here. Okay, so we select everything here, align to left. Okay, so now let's select align to left, and now the size to widest. Okay, so without not much we do, we press Ctrl A to select all controls and labels. Now we make sure, let's choose a font, Calibri is okay, and we are sticking to font size 12 here. Okay, but then over here I will choose to remove this here. But then the caption of the form, you can come to property sheets. So let's set a neat caption. So let's say salary payment. Okay, so now again we select everything here. Let's make the color black, and then also outline, let's set it to black here. Okay, so now let us look at it carefully here. So we can see that we have the addition size, which is the earning. So let us separate it. So let's separate it. So it means that we need to bring a label. We click here from the controls. So here we will say earnings. I can say equally say credits. So let's click here. Now let's click here, select 18. So you can center our line. Now we copy. So we also social security gross. Okay, so now up to here, let's try to add everything that needs to be under earnings. So size is too big, let's make it 18. Okay, so we need to bring the arrears field. So we click here, add existing fields, arrears. So we click and bring the arrears here. Okay, so now arrears has been added to earnings. So let us set alignment to left. So we want the alignment, this one to be of the same alignment and size. So we'll select everything. Now the size will say widest. Okay, so let's do the same. We'll select everything here. So we right click, align, we choose left, and now size we select widest. Okay, so we can click formats. Now I want the same settings to be applied, so we highlight any of them, we click the format printer, then we paste. Okay, so now they are all having the same format, so let's make sure we check the color well for them. Okay, so let's select. Okay, so let's select. Now we set the outline immediately to this. Okay, so now it's left with gross salary. So let's add the gross here. So now let's add the gross here. Okay, so now the gross salary has also been added, and we can now copy this, then we come and paste. So let's drag it here. Okay, so now we say debits. Okay, so now debits. Okay, so here the color we can set it to blue. Now let's change the entire color. So let's stick to this. We stick to this as well. Okay, so now what we do is we double click here. We change the pop-up of this particular form to yes, or you can just double click within here and it works. So now record selector, we say no. So we can actually keep these ones. So now that we are done, we can choose to also close it a bit. Now let's select everything here, alignments, and then size widest. Okay, so now the next step is that we add some couple of buttons. So we click here. The first button we'll add is a new button. So record operations, add new. So we'll stick to the picture. So the add new button is here. Now let us add the refresh button or the save button for now. Okay, so now we have the save button here. We go to form operations, choose refresh. So instead of save, you can say refresh, and that is okay. Okay, so now we can also click here, and then we add delete button. So record operations delete button. Okay, so now let's select all buttons, right click, alignment, we align them to the top, and now this is okay for us here. So should in case you want to change the design of the buttons, you can do that by clicking format. So you come to quick styles, we have a lot of styles here that you can choose. So for instance, I want this style. Okay, now Control S to save every change that we've done so far. So let us view the form now. Okay guys, so this is how the form is now looking. Okay, so once you click, it prints. Now let's set the alignments. So right click everything here, and the alignment we set it to right. Okay, so we set the alignment to right here. Okay, now before we actually forget, this button, the codes beneath, so let me view the codes here. So if you want to see the codes, probably this one, because we added it with the wizard, so it is a macro that is behind it. So you right click, then you go to build events. So you right click and you go to build events. So here in build events, now you can see there's only one macro, which is refresh command here, but then going forward we'll come and modify this particular macro here. Okay, now one of the most important thing, you know, the addition here is arrears. So let me highlight the arrears field. So let me set the color of the arrears field to this, so that we will always remember that it is arrears. Okay, so now that we are done with this, the next step is that we close here a bit. So later on we'll come and insert something here, so let's see, leave it for now. So we save it. Now let's go to the employee form once again. This time I go to design view, and in fact we wouldn't need this particular data sheet, we wouldn't need it for now. And over here too, we wouldn't need the birth dates, telephone number. So we can just want to keep this one as simple as possible, so we can just remove everything here. So we can just maintain these few items. Okay, so now we can just pull everything to the top here. Okay, so now that we have this, let's put the photo to the top here. The next step is that I will bring this salary payment form here. So let me close it. Now I'll bring this form here neatly. Let me change the background color. Okay, so let us select it as this, right click, special effects, let's choose this Sank. Okay, so let's double click here, we'll change it. Now we are just applying some couple of changes to make it look more nicer. Okay, so now we are going by this. Okay, so now as usual we'll have to link. So you select everything, that is the sub form that you've added here. Make sure you go to design data. Now the link master for the link chart for here, here Microsoft Access has been so smart enough to do the linking for us over here, so we don't have much of a thing to really do here. Okay, so but then in case it was not really done for you, then you have to make sure that you click any of the two fields, you come up here, you link it, you link these two forms with the common field that they are having. Those fields need to be of the same data type. Okay, so now we can just bring this one here. Okay, so let us view this particular form. Okay, so this is how the form is really looking like. Okay, now you can see it is still showing the data sheet, so let us solve that. So here, click here, format. So we have default view. So the default view, let us set it to single form. Now we have to view it again, and now you can see it is showing the form. Okay, so here this is what we have now here. So we have this particular form now here. So let me close so that we'll see it neatly. Okay, so we can also choose to bring the data sheet here. So let us bring the data sheet so that in as much as we are adding the records, we will see whatever that we are doing. Okay, so in fact, let us close this one a bit. So let us close this so that we'll get enough space. Okay, so now double click here to bring the ribbon. We can bring the data sheet also here. You can bring the data sheet here. Okay, so in here, let's bring the data sheet neatly here. So that as we are entering the records, we will see them populating in the data sheet. Okay, so now we will have to set the right anchors for this data sheet. So we select it, horizontal anchor, we select both, and then now over here you select both as well. Okay, so now let me close this, and once we open, so this is what we have now here. So now you can see that you have your data sheet over here, and you have your form, the data entry form also over here. Okay, so now you can just save changes. Okay, so now there can be a scroll bar, or possibly you can also go back and remove some of the items from this particular form. So let us do that, because now we already have this form here that will be the data entry, so we can remove some of the items from this form. So let's go to payroll data sheets and see items we can remove. So for instance, we can remove, we don't need basic salary, we don't need overtime. So you select it, then you hit delete key. You don't need direct tax, you highlight the column. So what we need is just gross salary and then the net salary. These ones are enough for us. So let us minimize it, keep it to the appropriate size. So we select it like this, then double click the margin here. Okay, so now you can see that over here the gross salaries are actually 000 because there hasn't been any arrears added here. So let us edit the arrears field. So we double click this payroll. Now arrears, so let's add values of 0, but the subsequent ones you can see the default value is already 0. So put 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0, 0, 0, 0. You could have using an update query to do this, but then I don't want us to worry ourselves with much of the queries for now, because update query itself is also another tutorial. So let us edit this. Now once you refresh, you can see we have your net salaries here. Okay, now so we have a very neat form setup here. Okay, so guys, now we are making progress. The next thing is that if we want to track balances or opening and closing balance, then we have to add some more fields to the payroll table here. So we go to table design of the payroll table. Now this is a net salary, so let me bring net salary here. Okay, so up we have to add received amount. So received amounts. Now this received amounts can be, it has to be currency, or you can keep it as number. It means that we can calculate the balance here. So we can say the balance for every month, say balance. Now make sure data type has to be calculated. So guess what the formula for balance will be? So the formula for balance will be the net salary. So this is a very simple formula. Net salary is an expression, sorry, net salary minus received amount. So this is the expression for the balance. So now we hit OK. Now we view. Yes. Okay. So now here let us see what we have here. So you could see that the received amount here too, because it has not been updated, so it is still the same here. It is still the same because the previous salaries that we've actually entered, we've not updated the received amounts. Okay, so now what we'll do is we are going to add this received amount to the payment form. So we go to salary payments. So salary payments. So salary payments, let me drag it to the top. So let's keep them close so that it will look nice. Okay, so now we can push everything to the top. Okay, so after entering salary, how much are you paying out of? So how much are you paying out of? So now we click add existing fields. Let me double click to bring the property sheet. So as add existing field, received amount. Okay, so we have the received amount here. But then the balance wouldn't show on this particular form. So let me click format printer to add it here. So now we can stretch it up here a bit. Okay, so now print, we can do away with this print icon here. So let me right click, build event. Now Control A to copy this macro, then we close it because now we are not using the data sheets and we have to get rid of the print field. So we're using a button instead. Okay, so let us select this alignment. We align it to left, and then also the size we keep it to widest. Okay, so now let's do the same thing here. Now we add a print icon here. So the print icon, we go to design, we click here. So let me bring it here. Now cancel it. So the name is print. Okay, so the name is print. Now let's copy the format printer, we apply it here. Okay, so we right click, build events, macro builder. We've already copied the macro, so we paste it here. Okay, so let's try changing this to white. I think that will look more nicer. Okay, so this is okay. Now let's minimize it. Okay, and we are good to go now, guys. Okay, so now employee form. So here to design view, let's change this. So in fact we can copy this so that we can close what we have here and bring it up here to leave more space beneath up there. So let's select this. Now stick to white. Now we stick to this. Okay, so now let's see, we are making progress. So I'll close, then we come back again. So we can see that this now looks okay. Okay, so now what we've done is that for the net salary, so we have received amount here. So you can actually click type your receipt. So out of this, how much are you paying? If you want to pay 2767, then you just type 2767, then you save it. Sorry, you refresh. Now you go to next. So let's say this one, so you want to pay everything, you save, you paste, then you save. So you go to this. Okay, so now it means that for whichever staff member that you pay, you'll be able to track their receive amounts, and you can get a query to track their balances. So now let's get out there and write a query to get us those staff members that will be owing them. So we go to create, query design. So now payroll table. Okay, so now we need the ID number, and then also we need a payment month. So in fact, let me remove one. Okay, so now here payment months, we go to, so now we have the received amount and then also the balance. So we have the balance here. Okay, so now here we will say balance is greater than 0. So we are filter. We want only places where the balance is greater than 0, so that we will see staff members that needs to be given arrears. Okay, so as it stands now, no staff is having an arrears, so which is okay. Let's see, right click, we save. So now we say arrears of staff. Okay, so now let's pay a staff member. So employee form. Now let us select a new employee. So let's say Charles Jimfy. So he's coming to pay a new, so we are coming to pay him for the new months, so he has no salary details. Okay, so what's the payment month? So let's say March. Now basic salary, let's say 3,000. So overtime 200. So gross is this. Now let's say the net salary is 3,200 and we are only able to pay him 300. Okay, so let's make it 3,000. So 3,000, and now we save. So once we save and refresh, you can see now there's a balance here for Charles. So this is an arrears, and this arrears we should actually see it next month. So this will be the opening balance for Charles next month. Okay, so now let us do for a new person. So let's say this staff member, add new. In fact, I know there are a lot of ways that you can improve this particular form design, so if you're free, I will add the link to the file in the description. You'll find it to improve upon it, change the colors to any desirable preferences that you want. Okay, so now let's pay Josephine. So let's say April 5,000. Overtime no. So bonus, let's say 1,200. Okay, so direct tax, let's say 1.2. Okay, so now as we have net salary, let's say we are only able to pay him 6,100. So still we'll be owing him. So let's come to our arrears. Now refresh. So it means that staff members, let me add another one. So that same person. So let's say March 3,000. Now let's say we pay all the 3,000. Okay, so this time around there wouldn't be any arrears for that month, so you see it will not come out here. Okay, so now let me close everything. We need only the arrears. So what we do is we are going to create a form. So we're going to create form wizard. So we show only the balance, and now okay, so we also show the month. Next, columnar. Let's modify the form. Okay, so now okay, so the colors, let us set it to, let's set the size to 12, color to black. Okay, now the balance, we are going to apply some conditional formatting here. So conditional formatting, new rule. So if the balance is greater than 0, then we fill it with red color, and here we choose white, bold. Okay, apply. So let us select everything, outline, we keep it to black. Now we add a label here. So we say arrears or balance. Okay, so arrears or balance, let's select. Now we go to 16, we center it, now we bold it. Okay, so we double click here, choose white. Okay, So now we click here, other, pop-up yes, and now also record selector no, navigation no, and now make sure that scroll bars you set it to neither. So let's click neither, scroll bar neither. Okay guys, so we are making progress. So now we right click, we go to form view. So now you can see that we have arrears showing here. Now this arrears, we shouldn't be able to edit it, so we go to design view, click here. Now you make sure you come to data tab, allow addition no, allow deletions no, allow edits no. Okay, so now that we are here, so let's save it here. Okay, so now we have the arrears neatly showing over here as such. Okay, so we have the arrears neatly showing over here as such. Okay, so now one more thing, we will need a checkbox. So go to payroll table. Now we'll say pay arrears, yes or no. So you can click, then select yes or no. Okay, so we save. Now the default value, we set it to no, that is okay. Okay, so now what you do is you come to the arrears of staff. We will need the pay arrears checker. Now, so now this particular query needs to show when the balance is greater than 0, and then also over here is no. Okay, so here is no. So now you can see it is showing. If I should take this one like this and refresh, you can see that's now what vanished away. Okay, so because if you say pay arrears, if you click here, it means you are paying the arrears, but if you're not paying, just leave it there. Okay, so now the checker is also working. So it means we need to go to arrears of staff again, and now we add existing field pay arrears, so we bring it up here neatly. Okay, so it is neatly shown here. Now let us copy, now paste. Okay, so pay arrears. Okay, so it's a question. If you click here, it means you are paying arrears. Okay, so now we move on to employee form, design view. Now as soon as you select a staff member, we should be able to see the members arrears. So we select arrears of staff, we bring it up here neatly here. So we close this. Okay, so let us bring it here, and now you can see there is no linking here, so you are going to link it. Link master field. Okay, ID number and ID number. Okay, so it's okay. Now I would like to make it sank, and I'll choose sank. So now let's put it to the top here. Okay, so now let's go to form view. So you can see here it is blank because this staff member has no arrears. So now if you are coming to make payment for this staff member for the next month, you can see this will be the arrears or the balance. So you will see that this staff member has an arrears or a balance, so which is what we are really interested in here. So now let's say we are coming to make a new payment. We come to add, so payments, so let's select, because it was April, so let's say May. So how much are we paying? Let's say 3200. There was, so now let's say there was a bonus of 100. Sorry. Now you can see there's an arrears here. So what is the arrears amount? To type 50. Now once you type 50 here, make sure you click pay arrears. Sorry, guys, we have really made a mistake. Sorry for that. Let me revert. So let's delete. So let's go to design view again. Now you know we set this one to be non-editable, so this time round allow edit, it has to be yes. Okay, let me close now. Okay, So now we go to employee form again. So let's select for different staff member. Okay, so this is a staff member. Choose to add. So next month, which is May, let's say payments, we have to pay him 400. Okay, so now overtime, let's say 200. Now here there's an array, so we type 50, so you'll be able to see the previous month's balance here. So this will be the previous month balance. Then you type it here, then you check, you click the checker. Okay, so now out of the net salary here, 4250, are you paying everything? So if you are paying everything, you click 4250. Now you hit save. So once you hit save and you save here, so let us refresh. Now once we refresh, you could see that this staff member is now not owing again. This staff member is now not owing again. Okay, so in fact, let us modify this save record button here. So right click. So it has to do refreshing for us. So it has to do refreshing and fetch us the balance. Okay, so now let's pay this staff member. Add new. So let's say April 2000. So let's say we're only able to pay him 1200. So what will be the arrears? As soon as we refresh, now you can see that there has been an arrears of 800. So when you go to the previous months, if accountant is coming to make payments, accountant will see that okay, so now there's an arrears which is a balance for this staff member 800. So we are paying that this month, so we pay arrears 800. Now you come and type it in the arrears. Okay, because of my recorder, I wouldn't be able to type 800, so I will let us revert this. So let us revert. So let us try for a different staff member. Okay, so now here 3200 receive amount. So let us save. So we go to new April 300. So now let's say we are only paying 2000. So there has been an arrears. We save. Now save record. So there's an arrears of 1000 Ghana. So in the following months, when accountant is coming to pay, so let's say 3000. So 3000. Now there's an arrears of 1000. Because we don't want to show this, because we have not paid, we clear the arrears. And now here we can type if he is paying everything. So if you're not done, if you don't finish paying this amount too, the arrears will pop up again here. So now you can see there is no arrears. So assuming for the next month to be able to pay only 3, so let's say we're able to pay 3700 and we refresh. So there will be a balance of 300 here. Okay, so now let us go to the pay slip, and on this pay slip, what we need to do is we will have to add the arrears. So we click here, add arrears. Now we add it neatly here. So sorry, this is not what we want. So we want arrears. So we add arrears to the payslip. Now we click here, we apply the format painter. Okay, so alignment left. Now the size we choose widest. So alignment here again, choose left. Okay, so now we can bring everything down here. We have to know the receive amount too. So receive amount will also appear neatly here. So we click, we apply, and now neatly we add everything here. So alignment left, size we choose widest. So align left. Okay, so now you set the appropriate fill sizes to the control that we have here. Okay, so now once you view your pay slip, you will see the arrears for the previous month. So let's say arrears for previous month. So we can say arrears previous. So you can see arrears previous. So arrears previous, and then the widest. Okay, so as we are viewing this, now we can see that we've managed to show the opening arrears and the closing arrears or the balances. So Muhammad Idris, we believe strongly that this will be of help to you. Now, if you have any other comments, kindly do not hesitate to let us know, because we are all trying to learn, to be the best that we can actually be, best developers we can actually be. If you have liked this particular video, kindly smash the subscribe button. If you're a newcomer, also like the video and then also share to any Microsoft Access community. So in the next video, we'll be addressing the next present comment. If you have a comment, kindly put it out there and I'll give you a shout out. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.